This is a story about stop caring about others. Once upon a time, there lived a father and a son in a village. One day, they decided to travel to a faraway land with their donkey. They packed their belongings and set off to their journey. The journey was long and they had to cross many towns, hills, and deserts to reach their destination. So, father let his son ride the donkey while he walked beside them. When they reached the first town, the people stared at them and whispered. One of them said loudly, "How rude and disrespectful that young man is. He's sitting on the donkey while his old father is walking in the sun. He should let his old father ride the donkey." The father and the son felt this and felt embarrassed. The boy got off the donkey and asked his father to ride the donkey while he walked along them. When they reached the second town, the people there also looked at them and talked. One of them said loudly, "How selfish and irresponsible that father is. He's enjoying the ride while his son walks in the heat." Parents always try to give comfort to their children even if they suffer. But this father is comforting himself by giving pain to his child. The father and the son heard this and felt embarrassed again. After going some distance, father got off the donkey and they both started walking with the donkey. When they reached the third town, the people there laughed at them and mocked them. One of them said loudly, "How foolish these young travelers are. They have a donkey but they don't use it. Then what's the point of having a donkey when they don't ride it?" The father and son heard this and felt stupid again. After going some distance, they both decided to ride the donkey. So they both sat on the donkey and started riding it. When they reached the fourth town, the people saw them and started taunting them. One of them said loudly, "How cruel and abusive these riders are. They both burden the poor donkey with their weight. They should spare the donkey some mercy and get off it." The father and son heard this and felt sorry for the donkey. They both got off the donkey. Now the only option left was there to carry the donkey on their backs. But that would be even more awkward. After going some distance, they saw a monk sitting under a tree on the outskirts of the village. The father and the son greeted the monk and told him their story. They explained how they tried to please everyone they met on the way, but they had only ended up being criticized and ridiculed. The monk listened to them patiently and then laughed. He said, "My friends, don't bother what people say. It is people's nature to keep criticizing everything. They will always find something to complain about, no matter what you do. If you listen to them, you will never be happy or satisfied. Therefore, don't bother what people say and do what you want to do. Do what you think is right and do good for you. Follow your own heart and mind, not the opinions of the others. That is the only way to live a true and meaningful life." If we see our lives, we find that life has always shows us the deep truth that we can't make everyone happy. The story of the father, son, and the donkey proved this fact very well. When they traveled, they tried to do what everyone said. But at every time they tried to please, they got new complaints from every town, which shows that people often say things without seeing the whole picture or being fair. This way to live honestly and happily is not to change ourselves for others, but to be loyal to our own beliefs. Changing ourselves make all the time for us to fit in others makes us tired and sad, and we forget who we are. The father and son story ended with the monk's advice, which reminds us of an old truth that if we try to make everyone happy, we lose ourselves. Being true to ourselves and following our own way is the key. No matter what you do, People will always keep talking and criticizing to you. And if you try to act based on what they say, they will never be satisfied. We should do what feels right, not what is popular or expected. We should remember that when people criticize us, it means that we're growing and doing something different. Therefore, always remember that you cannot please everyone. No matter what choices you make, there is always be someone who disagrees with you or finds fault in you. But instead of trying to meet everyone's expectations, focus on what you believe is right and follow your own path. Because listening to your heart and staying true to yourself leads to a more genuine and fulfilling life. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you too. Bye bye. See you later next time, next video. See you later. Thanks.